headphones back on. Sorry that took a while. But okay, now it is time for a little lesser known title. This is Under Defeat, developed by G.rev or G.revolution. This game actually came out around 2000. Well, it came out in Japan in arcades around 2005, and then it had a Dreamcast port that was only released in Japan as well. And then later on, around 2012, they released this version of the game, which is the HD. Damn, that's loud. Hold on. Come on. There. Yes, come on. I just want to play my game. I'm sorry, I should have had all this loaded up beforehand. Dang. Hold on, I gotta turn down that volume. There we go. Get back down where you belong. Okay. Yeah, so this is the HD re-release of the cult G.rev shoot 'em up classic. I don't even know if I can really even call it that, because this game was extremely obscure for a long time, and it wasn't released officially in the United States until this version, which came out on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Holy crap, that is still loud. Hold on. Maybe that's just loud on my end. There I go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this game was released for the Dreamcast after it came out in arcades. And that was actually how I first played it, because my brother was really into... I wish I could change the girl. I can't unless I'm the second player, because I like the silver-haired one more. My brother, of course, he would always burn lots of games on the Dreamcast. And usually it was a lot of the shoot-'em-up games, a good portion of which never came out over here. And some of which actually came out quite some time after the Dreamcast as a console had been discontinued. But you know I don't need to repeat the whole history of the Dreamcast. I feel like everybody already knows like how much of a cult of a cult console it became. This was one of the more obscure sort of shoot 'em up releases that came out on the Dreamcast, or one of the more obscure arcade ports that came out on the Dreamcast. And it wasn't released here until this HD release. But, it was kind of like, I think they kind of knew. I think they kind of knew that that most people who knew about this game probably played it like by playing an illegal copy that they burned for the Dreamcast. And so I guess they decided to finally release it in North America so they could make money off the North American fan base for the game, however niche it was. But it kind of functions, as far as the gameplay goes, it's kind of a twin-stick shooter, almost. It's very similar, actually, to Zero Gunner from Psycho, except you don't have a full 360-degree turn. You just kind of change your direction left and right, and then you hold down the fire button to stay in place. So it's the same kind of formula as Zero Gunner, just a little more limited, and it actually functions quite well. The only trouble I'm having is that's not the stream. That's just the frame rate on this version takes a nosedive when you use stuff like bombs. Ah, I'm doing so hot. Let me go ahead and start over again. But this is one of the this game is actually probably one of the good reasons I would suggest anyone looking for just kind of a small, like, another console to have in the house for just some random games. Well, I would recommend picking up like a PS3 or a 360. Okay. All right, we're doing okay. This is a little better. You'll notice that when I let that meter charge up in the corner, a little ship comes out, a little drone. What you kind of have to do is you kind of have to cycle through different drones for different situations by collecting the right power-up for them. So there's like the Vulcan, there's the rocket, there's the bomb, and each one is good for different situations. So it's like your main shot, you don't have to really worry about collecting too many like power-ups or anything. It's really mostly all about collecting just the right power-up for your drone. Your main shot, like, you don't have to worry about collecting the power-ups for your main shot, really. Come on. Alright, and here he comes. Let him go. Oh, he already took it out. Okay, good. Okay, change direction. I'll just use a bomb. But yeah, other than the frame rate issue that this version has, you know, this game is a really good is a solid $20 deal, even now, after like 8 years. And the leaderboards are still somewhat active. A lot of the higher scores are from like 2016, 2017, but there's still a few dedicated players who are still trying to climb up the top like 10,000. Now, if you want the original, like, more arcade experience of Under Defeat, then the game does have the original arcade mode. This mode that I'm playing is the New Order mode, which was a sort of retooled mode for 16:9 screen aspect ratio. So the original game, the arcade mode, it's a more of a vertical image. The aspect ratio is a long vertical aspect ratio because it was a game you would play on a tall arcade cabinet. So unless you have something to turn your TV sideways so that the long side is facing up, then you have to kind of deal with a really, really small picture in the arcade mode. So they decided to... now, like, I mean, a lot of hardcore shmup players do that. My brother was one of them. You know, turn their TV sideways and all that. But that's, I think for most people, that's a little bit of an inconvenience. So you have the New Order mode, which is more or less the same, but, you know, it has some a few new things here and there. But it's at least, you can at least appreciate a lot of the graphics and everything a lot better in this mode because of the different aspect ratio. Okay. Go. Apparently in this game, the story is the world is divided into two major, or at least this continent is divided into two major countries. And you are actually playing as two Imperial pilots, I believe, who are from the German-speaking empire, fighting against the English-speaking, like, Union or whatever it's called. So it's kind of interesting. You're playing as two. You're basically playing as two anime German girls fighting the not Americans. But yeah, this is and this is probably G.rev's one of G.rev. Let me see. I think it's a tie between Strania and this game as to which game people actually know in the shoot 'em up community actually know who G.rev is, like what they know them for. I remember playing a little bit of Strania, but I don't remember much about it. I definitely like this game though. It has a few people who worked on a few of the people who worked on this game. They also worked as like designers or programmers on stuff like Ikaruga and other sort of treasure titles. And most of the employees at G.rev are made up of former developers from Taito. So they have a lot of experience when it comes to developing shoot 'em ups. And the character designer in this game, I recently found out that he is apparently credited as the machine designer, like the mech designer, I guess, for that one anime that a lot of people really like right now, which is Kandagawa Jet Girls. I haven't actually ever seen it, but yeah, so that's an interesting little connection. The guy that developed that drew the girls, you know, the two main heroines in this game, designed the robots or the machines in another anime, you know, Japanese anime product that had cute girls in it. Come on. I might after if I lose all my credits in this run, I might just go to the options and turn the number of credits up so that way I can actually just play through the whole game. But I don't know. Depends on if I want to do that. I usually just play these shoot 'em ups on stream just to kind of relax. Which doesn't always work out if the if the shoot 'em up game I'm playing is filled with a lot of bullshit. There you are. Get rid of you. Go away. Okay, and now. Okay. Got it. Damn. I almost have to play this with, to play it like this. Ah, damn it. I've kind of noticed that I tend to, when it comes to streaming shoot 'em ups, I feel like I'm able to maintain my focus, like balance my focus a little better than when I'm streaming other types of video games. But it's like I don't want to just stream shoot 'em ups all the time. I mean, I like shoot 'em ups and I don't mind playing lots of them, but I don't like, you know, like if I have trouble, talking and playing something like Resident Evil, like streaming Resident Evil and talking at the same time, you know, I feel like that's something I should practice more at. There, gotcha. Take you. Just gotta stay there. Hold on. Switch direction. Boom. Charge. Oh no, wait, those are our guys. Come on, come on. Ah, screw it. Sometimes it feels like these enemies take way, like a huge long time to die. Maybe I'm just not targeting things correctly. Gotcha. Over here. Strafe, strafe. Please get him. There. Like, it takes some time for the thing to, it's not like other games where everything is on the same plane and only has the appearance of depth. There's actual depth here in terms of, like, enemies that are in the sky and enemies that are on the ground. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time for your bullets to, like, for the game to register, like, oh, the bullets need to go towards the enemy on the ground. There. Okay, charge. Now. Gotcha. Got him. There. It's also real kind of tough. It's also kind of tough because a lot of times with this game, you want to hold down the fire button, and you don't want to, like, you don't want to let go of the fire button, but at the same time, you have to if you want to change your direction. I mean, you can try just tapping the button and seeing if that'll work, but sometimes, you know, it's not as really very effective. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, come on. Go. Got him. Gotcha. Here. Here you. Ah, shit. Oh, no. I still have a life. Okay, so get the cannon. And I think I'll stick with the cannon. Or maybe I want that. Oh, no, I think that's just a power-up for my main weapon. Come on. Just get that. Wait, what hit me? Oh, those things. Okay. This is my last credit. I think I can do it. There. There. Bam. Okay, so these things are behind me. Just gotta... Ha! Charge it. And... Oh! No! Damn it. There. Just spam the bomb. Gotcha. Sometimes with 3D shoot 'em ups like this, you can kind of, it can be a little tough to figure out. It can be a little tough to figure out like what exactly actually hurts you. Because sometimes when it's a sprite artwork, you can kind of just, it's easier to get an intuitive sense of what, oh, okay, that's an object that if I ram into it, it's gonna just kill me in one hit. So I need to stay away. God, crap. Sometimes with these 3D shoot 'em ups, I have a lot of trouble realizing, like, I'm like, oh, what killed me? And it's like, oh, it's the thing's stupid propeller. Come on. Damn it. I'm out. I really wish this game used a different font. I don't like this font. It's kind of confusing. Okay, player stock. Let's go ahead and just try it again. See how high we can climb the leaderboards. Normal. Okay. Option gauge is filled. No, no, we're not. You. Yeah, let's try this again. Option gauge filled. Boom. Okay. No, that didn't work. It was a bad idea. That was a waste. There. Okay. Got rid of him real quick. Cannon. The Vulcan is the Vulcan option gauge is really good if you're when it comes to like strafing, because it sort of follows you around a bit. So it's like having an extra, like a stronger main weapon. But the rocket or the cannon is probably the best when it comes to taking out large, powerful enemies, and the rocket just kind of homes in on individual enemies. Okay, take that. Fine. Closer, get the bomb. Okay, so I'm going to try not to waste this bomb. Another thing you've probably noticed here is when I destroy these tanks, like I destroy their top, but not the whole tank. So it's kind of like if you're just trying to survive, sometimes you can just you can just decide to leave the half-destroyed tank alone and just move on to the next, like, active enemy. Because you might get shot down while you're trying to just rack up the scores by destroying whole tanks. Okay, switch. Gotcha. Now. So, you might be wondering if like, what games I'm actually going to try to complete on stream in the near future. The truth is, I don't know, because there's still a lot of things I need to improve on. There's like, there's stuff with the layout I want to fix, that's bothering me. I still have to upgrade some of my hardware if I, want to make sure like everything's fail safe for the near future. Mostly this month, I'm just kind of playing random stuff, seeing what sticks, what I enjoy streaming, what other people enjoy watching me play, and like just kind of building a back catalog, if you will. And then once I get everything squared away on my main channel, and I just feel a little more comfortable, and I'm not just like running on fumes all the time, because I haven't been getting very much sleep either. Then I'll see about maybe updating my streaming schedule to something a little more daily, or like semi-daily. I just don't want to I don't want to put all my energy into doing streams that nobody watches. So right now just once a week is just fine to make sure that at the very least, even if I don't finish anything else, I'm putting out something. I'm not going dark for too long. And like I said, it gives me a bit of a back catalog to work with as far as any other video content goes. Whether it's just an archive of the stream or whether it's footage I need for something else. Okay, get that. Damn. What I might try doing, because next month is October, so it's, the Halloween spooky season. I might just pick like 2 games that I actually intend to complete over the course of like a 2-week period, 2 or 3 week period on stream, and just play those. Just play those like one at a time. For this month, though, it's mainly just me playing random stuff, just to see what people like watching me play the most, and maybe I'll put it to a vote in the Discord or something later on, whether or not I'm gonna complete this game or that game, or whether they want to see me just start on something totally different. Your frame drops are screwing me up, guys. I have both my thumb and my my index finger holding the left control stick right now. I'm not moving using just my thumb. Because at least for this game, it's a little more comfortable. I wish I had a good arcade stick, like multi-system, like multi-platform arcade stick that I could use. All I have is an old PS2 one, and I don't have an adapter that would let me use it on like the Switch or though, I mean, I haven't tried it. I mean, I could see if the plug that the USB plug that I have to help me plug it into the PC, if it'll let me plug it into any of the other systems and map the button inputs. I mean, it's not the best. It's kind of it's not the best arcade stick, but it's it's got to be better than using this old PS3 controller. A lot of times it's like, for shoot 'em up players, playing with an arcade stick that you can use your whole palm on is sort of like the equivalent of playing FPSs on PC with mouse and keyboard. It can take a little bit of skill to figure out, but a lot of times once you do figure out, it's hard. Once you do figure it out, it's kind of hard to just go back to using a controller unless you're just kind of a savant with the controller as it is. Okay, got you. There. Got it. Woo! We're dodging these bullets. Oh, shoot. Okay. Probably not a good idea, but I got scared. When I get scared, I use I use my bombs when I probably shouldn't. Damn it. Let's do it. That was actually our first credit, so I think we're doing okay. Give me that. Got it. Come on. Ugh. Ugh. Beat it, bub. I like I like this really like the guitar in the background. I know 13-year-old me would be jamming to it in the arcade like a freaking loser. That's actually kind of I think that might be part of the reason I don't probably have ever any plans of showing my face, really, because last thing I need is somebody who recognizes me and remembers me for the big dweebus that I really am. Come on. Man, this level is just merciless with just how much stuff is coming up behind you. This is like the level where they're really testing how well you've learned the control scheme. Alright. Option is good. Okay. Alright, go. Oh yeah, Puzzle Bobble has some really good music. Just real like dun 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 dun. Oh, get away! Even when you destroy it, it explodes on you. See? You can't win. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! Go to hell. Kind of a slow night in the chat, but that's okay. And that's just fine. Okay, so we're back here. Let's see. We have 1 credit. Okay, no, we're good. We have one credit, so let's see if we can make some progress. Because I don't think I've earned the trophy for beating this level yet. kind of just like I kind of keep the PS3 around because honestly, I think the PS3 might have been like the last. It was like really the last Sony console that I really, really enjoyed. Um, I was never really a big fan of the PS4. I think for something about the PS4, I think just started to turn me off to Sony's products. Um, so like, and now that the new consoles are coming out, like PS5 just had its recent showcase where they revealed the prices and the specs, and this was after a lot of the news with Microsoft. Oh crap! Are we done? No, we're still good. But yeah, so we have Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and the two versions of the PS5 that are coming out. And I've said it before, but I feel like the way this console generation is shaping up, most people are just going to continue to buy in the ecosystem that they're already invested in, unless they're just huge gearheads who have to have everything and have a lot of money to spend on not only consoles, like the latest consoles, but also the latest PC hardware, that makes them able to play anything, basically compare and contrast all the different versions of the games that come out. But like in my case, I've already invested quite a bit of money into the Xbox ecosystem with like stuff like Game Pass and digital purchases. Which, I mean, I have far more digital games than I do physical games. I reserve buying physical for only specific games or specific series of games. Sorry. But, like, I'm not going to buy a PS5 just to have, like, one exclusive and have to rebuy all the games that I already bought on PC and Xbox. Or on the Switch. I'm not going to do it. That was one of the reasons why I didn't buy a PS4, because I was like, at the beginning of the PS4's lifespan, it was really just a lot of PlayStation 3 games. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay extra to play the same stuff I can play on PS3 or on the Vita. I mean, eventually, of course, PlayStation 4, they dropped support for the PlayStation 3, and, PlayStation 4 got, like, exclusives. But I think that kind of turned me off a bit to Sony, because I kind of started to see how their market strategy was turning out. Right now with Xbox, it just kind of like, and Sony is still kind of doing that, like with the whole $70 for the PS5 versions of the games and shit, like the $10 PS5 tax. With Microsoft, I mean, Microsoft has their problems, but I mean, Microsoft, like, they have their problems, sure, but like, I've already bought tons of digital games for the Xbox. I've already bought, I already have a few physical games. I already have been subscribed to the Game Pass thing for like nearly 2 years now. It's like, why wouldn't I just buy either a Series S or a Series X and just transfer all my games and all my save data over to the newer system? And it's just like with a lot of the people who are going to buy the PS5. A lot of them are going to just buy the PS5 because they're already invested into the PlayStation ecosystem with how many games and stuff they've bought for the PS4. So I mean, I don't think that you're going to see a huge let's go ahead and show you arcade mode or character select. Like, I don't think you're gonna see a huge like shift in the in the market. I think Sony's going to stay on top, and Xbox is going to stay. It might do a little better. I think it'll do a little better this generation, but I think it's going to stay more or less in that kind of middling place that it has been. But I think it's going to be more successful financially, simply because, you know, Xbox right now just is providing its loyal consumers with a lot, with, you know, it's providing them with exactly what they want. Look at this this big white dopey thing. And a lot of people will bring up like exclusives. Well, Xbox has no exclusives, blah blah blah. That doesn't really matter anymore, because for one thing, most of the games you've seen at the PS5 showcases have been either PS4 games or they've been PC games. So it doesn't really matter at this point, because it's, you know, the consoles are gradually changing into just like right now it just feels like they're becoming more like what Steam machines were supposed to be, which is just fine. You know, I'm kind of wondering when Nintendo is going to actually like have their own, like have some of their older games put on PC. You know, I'm wondering why why they're so slow to do that when Sega does it and makes plenty of money off their old properties. I mean, they could still have exclusives, I mean, on their hardware, but I mean, I don't see a problem with like, hey, you know, Mario 64 is now available on Steam. Like, how is that going to harm, you know, your brand in any way? But I mean, I feel like it'll eventually happen. It's inevitable. I don't think that. I think a lot of people still kind of approach things with that old Sega versus Nintendo mindset that just doesn't apply anymore in today's market. It's, you know, it's really becoming more and more about value and services. Now that so many of the games, especially in the third-party sphere, are becoming widely available not just on consoles but also on PC. I don't like this helicopter very much. I don't know why I'm playing with it. It kind of sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and change my ship. Am I a Monster Hunter fan? I have never really played Monster Hunter. I've always just watched other people play it. So I have no real opinion on the Monster Hunter franchise whatsoever. All I know is that the Monster Hunter fan base is very dedicated. Let's go ahead and go with that one. Wait, wasn't it? Let's go with R. Here we go. Let's try this one. New order practice, stage 4. Let's go ahead with that. Actually, no, wait, never mind. And start. Go ahead and practice here. I feel like Xbox is a ton of tiny thorns, while PlayStation is a big-ass knife. Yeah, I can see what you mean by that. It's just, you know, like both of these companies are very big companies, and they're out to make money, and they make plenty of mistakes, and they make plenty of good decisions. You know, neither of them are perfect by any means, but, you know, like my main issue with Sony is just that I feel like a lot of times Sony in the last has sometimes held a lot of things back, because they have such a huge share of the market. So it's like, you know, the whole push towards cross-platform play was so simple and so easy, but a lot of the reason why it took so long for it to take off was because, it was mainly because of Sony. And even Nintendo, a company that is notorious for being very slow on the uptake when it comes to certain areas as far as innovation goes, was more, even they opened up to cross-platform multiplayer sooner than Sony did, because Sony's whole attitude at the time was they wanted to kind of it was this kind of like walled fortress sort of policy. So stuff like that kind of burned me out a little bit on Sony. I mean, and a lot of times too, I guess maybe it's just because Xbox is owned by Microsoft and Microsoft also owns Windows, but I really do like how Microsoft was much more open to integration with PC. They were just like, hey, we own this Xbox platform. It's kind of underperforming a little, but we also own the Windows platform, so let's integrate the two together and maximize our profits. It makes perfect sense. God, I'm just not doing well. Okay, exit. But what's also funny is that it feels to me like what's kind of funny to me though is that it feels like it feels a lot like where I see the most praise for some of Microsoft's efforts at cloud gaming, digital, improving digital distribution through subscription services and things like that, and integrating PC and console gaming through stuff like Play Anywhere, where I see a lot of praise for Microsoft or Xbox division for things like that is in the PC gaming sphere. Whereas most of the criticism I see comes from the console, from a lot of the more the people who mostly play, who are more dedicated console players. And I think it's just I think it's a lot of times it's just a case that the console players are a bit slow when it comes to accepting what is no more than just natural progress. Here we go. Damn. Well, I'm getting pretty close here. This is just practice mode. I'm trying to see if I can beat this level in practice mode, so on 1 credit. Alright, it's almost 10 o'clock. I guess I'll be calling it. I'm gonna try this one more time, and then I'm gonna call it for this session. I shouldn't have done that. But a lot of people think that I don't like physical games and stuff, and that's not true at all. It's more that the thing is, most of the physical games I own are usually very big games, and that take up a lot of space on internal hard drives. And in really honestly, when you're buying a disc, all you're buying is a boot disc. That's it. It still has to connect to the network, and everything. It still has to install itself onto the system, it's not like a plug and play kind of cartridge sort of system, So a lot of times, it's like, I think physical discs are still gonna stay. I don't think they're ever going to go away completely. I think there is always going to be a market for them, but I think that market's just going to become a lot more niche as most people start to get more connected to the internet. Internet speeds improve, and as people find that that digital is generally the better value, at least in terms of being able to buy more games for less money. Steam has already proven that. PC has already gone like 80-90% digital. And what we've seen is that once issues like price parity, because PC games you can still buy physical releases of PC games even after all these years. There are still stores and still retailers and still online, even publishers who will still provide physical versions of PC games if you want them. Usually as collector's items, but oftentimes for places where maybe internet connectivity is just not as good for downloading and installing games. And I think that's going to be the same direction that console is going to go. You're not going to see physical games completely go away, but digital will be the main form of distribution, whether it's through subscriptions or through digital downloads. And once issues like price parity are taken out of the equation, then it's going to be a lot cheaper, and you're going to see console console game distribution become a lot more like the way PC gaming distribution is on Steam and Epic. But it's just going to take a little bit of time. But it's eventually going to be like that, whether you like it or not. And so my whole thing is that I don't have a problem with physical games, because a lot of times I still do buy physical games every now and then on a very rare occasion, simply because maybe I already have a good chunk of the games of a particular series on disc, and it just feels weird to me to have like Resident Evil 2 Remake on disc but not Resident Evil 3 Remake, something like that. Or the game is very large, like the frickin' Halo collection, and it's going to take a long time to install anyway, to install or reinstall and update, so it's a lot easier to have a disc ready because in some case, a lot of cases, I've noticed the games install a little faster when I install them through disc instead of through just the internet alone, or just through a download. And so as long as that's the case, you're going to see, there's going to be a market for discs, especially for larger games, and especially for games where that have a lot of hardcore fan bases that just like to have a collector's edition or something like that. I just don't like the virtue signaling about it. I don't like the sense like where I'm just a dude. When I grew up, I mostly rented video games anyway. We were too poor to own too many video games, and even when we did, we had to buy them when the consoles went obsolete, and the retailers, the rental stores, were trying to get rid of their stock, and so they were selling Super Nintendo games for like $5 a piece. Other than that, a lot of times we had to rent our video games, and even rent whole consoles. A lot of times, just to be able to play as many games as we did. If we only played the games that we bought, we probably would only own and play like 2 games. So like things like the Game Pass style subscription services, to me, they're no different than when I went to, at least for me, they're no different than when I would go to Blockbuster to rent the latest release that I couldn't afford when I was like 8 years old. So, and with digital games, the idea that now, in my late 20s, early 30s, I can, with almost little to no income, I can own more games. I can own more games now through digital than I ever could have dreamed of owning when I was a little kid. You know, so it's like, why is that such a bad thing? Like, why like I don't really like it. I just don't like it when somebody kind of comes up to me and is like, or has this attitude of like, oh, you know, you're supporting the death of game, you know, the death of gaming, and don't you know that, you know, physical media is essential for preservation and blah blah blah, and like, you know, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. As far as the preservation thing, I don't know. Because as far as I know, a lot of those DOS games, the only reason they have survived is because people pirated them and made digital copies that you could emulate. So I don't know about the physical. I don't know if about the whole physical necessarily being essential for preservation. At least not in the way, you know, those people kind of try to make it sound. But you know, I'm not advocating going out and destroying all the physical games. I'm just saying that for the average person who isn't like I don't know, like just this kind of dude that wants to have his angry video game nerd, you know, wall, you know, and expects his wife to put up with it. You know, like, as far as the average person is concerned, digital is going to be the much more affordable and convenient option. And why is that a bad thing if it means more games for less money can get in the hands of more people and more people can have fun? Like, what's wrong with that? So I mean, that's just my whole, you know, thing with it is, you know, just, it's okay to like physical, and it's okay if physical is the cheaper option and the more convenient option for you, then go ahead and go for it, but don't be like a complete like physicuck about it. You know what I mean? You know, some people like the cheaper, affordable, minimalistic option. I really hate this level. Okay, destroy you. Okay, so how do I get him? Do I just... I think his light is his light is the weak spot, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's it. I can't see anything. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, so I gotta get him in his core right here. That's what I was doing wrong. I was trying to take out the things. Okay, so now. Boom. Okay. Well, at least I figured it out. I figured out how this level works, so next time I try to play this on arcade mode or regular mode, I might do a lot better. But, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for tonight. This was an okay stream. You know, it gave me some stuff to work with. I'm mostly just like I said, trying to build up a bit of a backlog. So eventually I can get to a point where I'm uploading edits, better, higher quality edits of past streams onto the Game Lounge channel more frequently, while still at the same time not having to have like a very exhausting streaming schedule. I would much where it's like I'm streaming every day, all day, every day, and you know, because I don't want to I don't want to be like I like streaming, but I don't really want to be a full-time streamer. I would like to still be able to do a lot of other things, especially on the main channel. So, you know, I'm really hoping that October this year is going to be the month that a lot of big, like I've already kind of made some progress here, but I'm really hoping that October of this year is going to be like the big comeback, so to speak, for not just for this as far as the streaming thing goes, but also especially for the main channel with the whole Psychonara Productions thing. You know, so right now the current 1 week, one archive, uh, like one stream and one archive a week. I think that formula right now is the best formula for me to have. So I have the most amount of free time, so that I'm still doing things consistently, but I still have a lot of free time to try to improve, to patch the holes in the other parts of the boat. But yeah, so thanks for joining me, and I will probably see you next week, but it really depends, simply because I do have the Rift chat stuff that I want to finish. So depending on how much I can get done this weekend, that's going to determine how much I am actually going to be streaming next week, if at all. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the intermission for a little bit, and then I'll be cutting it off. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and hopefully if I stream next week, we can get a few more people in here again.